can do more than just the military. There is more outside of it that veterans are achieving, that our veterans are conquering, that our veterans are fucking breaking these walls down to show other veterans that, hey, it's not just fucking you. It's not just the military world. Like, you can do more outside of the military world. And that's the thing that's always gets me is like, I get it, bro. You know, you're a veteran. You've been through some hard stuff, much harder than whatever I've seen in, you know, in the Air Force and everything else. But at the same token, you cannot let that sort of hold you back. You can't just be like, oh, it's because, you know, in the military, I was able to do this, this, this. Yeah, I get it, but you're not there no more. That's in your past. You know what I'm saying? That's behind you. So what are you doing now to do A, B, and C to get better? What are you doing now to be able to make money and put food on the table, put a roof over your head and everything? You know, we complain about the VA and everything else. The resources aren't out there, but if they're not there, look somewhere else. What's stopping you from looking through other avenues versus just the VA? Nothing. You can do that. You can, like you said, you go see a VA dentist. I have to see a civilian dentist because of ratings or whatever the case may be. But when I go see civilian dentists, I'm doing my research. I'm making sure, you know, what's the reviews? This office is good, because back in the military, I went to captain or major. Hey, you got your appointment, get it done. Boom. See you later. But that's not my life no more. I'm not in that structure no more. So now I got to start figuring shit out. I got to start figuring out who's going to cover me here, who's going to cover me medical wise. You know, how am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to keep the roof over my head? How am I going to put food on the table? The military life is done. And eventually you and I knew that door was going to close sooner or later. Either if you did 10 years or 20 years, the door is closing. You can't be military forever. So it's like, I say that because I want the viewers and listeners to understand that, hey, this applies to everybody. We're not just talking a specific category of people. We're talking about everybody: civilian, dependent, military, active, reserve, guard, doesn't matter, veteran, retiree. This is for everybody that's out there living their lives. It applies to everybody. It really does.
Yeah, I got talked to one time, and somebody was like, "Oh, the reason why you're like that is because you're a veteran and you're military and you were programmed this way, so you're lucky to be this way." And I was like, "The fuck? Like the fuck I am, man? Like, you fucking serious? No, I'm not. Like yeah, we're programmed to a certain extent, man, but we're not programmed after the military to be this way, right? Like, it's a choice." And I'm not no fucking special person. I didn't go through no special fucking training. The only training I went through for my job was 6 weeks long. You know what I mean? I'm no fucking special person. Like, I went to basic training and I went to training for my job. And that's the extent of my training that I really have gotten those things. And a lot of these things is, honestly, I was never this way, like, hardcore. Like, I was in the military. I was always like going a go-getter, but I wasn't like this in the military in a sense. A lot of this shit comes from being fucking $36,000 in debt after you got out of the military, and knowing that within a couple years, or with being within 6 months of being out of the military, you're fuck up again. Mm-hmm. And the shit I had to do to crawl out of debts, to crawl out of all that chaos, has made me the person I am today. And Absolutely. I know that I'm willing to wake up and work harder than everybody else. And that's just the fucking bottom line. And if people get mad about it, I'm like, let's go. There's some people who want to like, hey, I bet I can do this to you. I'm like, cool, man. You know, I had somebody like challenge me to something. And I was like, okay. And they were like, oh, this. And I was like, you're not going to beat me. Like, oh, you know this. And I was like, oh, you don't know me, man. I'm crazy. I'm willing to do things you're not willing to do. And it's not because I think it, though. That's the fucking thing. Right. I'm like, here's what I've done. I've done this. I've done that. I've done this and I've done that. And they're like, holy shit. I'm like, I am nuts if I put my mind to it. But I have experiences that have told me that they back up what I say. I'm not just a person who's like, oh, I'm this and that. Like, and that's why a lot of times I've actually taken down a lot of my shit from social media. I don't post a lot of things no more. I'm like, I'm good, man. I don't need that, though. I don't care for that. I don't even care if you know I do that or not. I don't care. Right. Because it's me. You're not in the garage with me in the mornings. You're not in the garage with me when I'm sitting down on my phone bullshitting because I don't want to run, because it sucks. It hurts, right? I told you I was sick for 2 days. When I went to go run again, that was very painful because my knees, if I don't run on them daily, I forget what it feels like and they start feeling less pain. And then it's way painful when you run again. Yeah. And we're talking about a slow jog. It's painful. And so that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you're not there when I don't, like, you're not there when it's like, 60 degrees in the gym. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. You're not going to help me get to where I want to go. You're not going to help me get motivated, but you're definitely not there either. to see the fails. And I think
Right.
that's like the problem is people just want to look at you in those things. And on another note, that's completely changing the subject, because I think we got way too fucking serious. I want to tell you why I actually untagged the VA in our post we had making fun of them. So I was reading some on Facebook, and they were like, they're like about disabilities and like, can the, if you're permanent total, can the VA take away your disability? And everyone was like, no, it takes 20 years. They're going back and forth. Like, well, they got to prove it. They got to do this. And someone goes like, well, this. He goes, unless you piss somebody off. I read that part, was like, went to Instagram really quick, fucking went to our thing, was like,
Yeah.
fuck that. That would probably piss somebody off. I don't know who would piss off, but it would probably piss somebody off. I'm good. Point taken. They didn't see it, or I don't even know they did see it. I was like, we're not going to chance that shit. So I was like, off. I would talk a lot of shit, but it's like, hey, this can get you in trouble. Or not even get you in trouble. They can get you more than that. I'm like, I'm good. There's no need.
It could mess up some things. It could mess up some ratings.
I was like, that old school military fear came in me, was like, let's just take this off just in case.
Yeah. Just
in case they're paying attention. They're like, who the fuck is it? Oh, you want to talk shit now? Let's do an investigation on you. I'm good. So that was funny.